YouTube, what's going on? My name is Argon. Welcome back to some Fortnite informational, instructional, conversational type of content. Today, we got a huge, and I mean absolutely massive nerf to the SMGs that have just been most recently dominating the entire battlefield, man. And a lot of people have been complaining about this, and now they've gone ahead and they say they've done a balance change, but really they've nerfed these things back to where they belong, guys. And a lot of people looked at the patch notes maybe today on Twitter and they said, I don't really think it was that big of a deal. It's still gonna melt, whatever, blah, 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 blah. Well, you got to do a little bit of math just to see how drastic these changes were. So we're gonna go ahead and do that right now, guys. We're gonna go ahead and jump right into the patch notes that they get released on Reddit. So we're going to say right now what they're doing. They basically nerfed the entire lineup of SMGs from silent to regular to compact, from every single aspect of that, except for the impact damage that it does to buildings. So jumping right into the notes, guys, the first change that they made was an accuracy bonus reduction from 35% down to 15% for SMGs and compact SMGs. I don't entirely understand what accuracy bonus is. It might have to do with whether, how things change when you crouch versus strafe versus stand versus aim down sight. I don't know what. I'm trying to get into more detail on what that exactly is, but what you need to understand now for the purposes of this video is they've reduced this accuracy bonus down to 42 or 43% of what it used to be. That's a huge decrease. Now just think about it in terms of shots. So if you're looking at all your shots that you could possibly shoot with the old accuracy bonus, at least minimum 1 out of 3 out of all those shots will hit, will take advantage of this accuracy bonus, whatever it is. With the new system, it's going to be double that, or like half of that basically. So 1 out of every 6 or 7 shots is going to take advantage of this bonus. So this is a huge reduction, and we're not even getting started yet. Going into the SMG damage and compact SMG damage, they've reduced all across the board. So regular SMGs went from 19, 20, and 21 down all the way to 17, 18, and 19. Doesn't sound like a lot, but don't worry, we'll get into why this is such a big deal. Now again, that's based on rarity, so starting at common at 19 down to 17, uncommon goes from 20 down to 18, and rare goes from 21 down to 19. Going into the compact SMGs or the P90s that were just released that basically kind of initiated this whole drama that's going on. Those went from 23 and 24 down to 21 and 22. So 23 for the Epic variant or purple variant down to 21, and 24 for the gold down to 22. Now they've also adjusted the SMG fire rate from 13 to 12. As you know, those were shooting faster than the compact SMGs. Those were reduced from 11 down to 10. Also, they've adjusted the SMG, compact SMG, and silenced SMG damage fall off. The range has been reduced and the percentage has been reduced. This is all across the board nerfs, guys. The range has gone from 2,400, 3,500, and 5,000 breakpoints down to 2,000, 3,000, and 4,000 breakpoints. Now, those percentages have been reduced as well. So at the first drop-off point, you're going to go from 80% of your original down to 70%. And for the second drop-off point, you're going to go from 65% down to 40%, okay? So now in order for you guys to honestly understand how big of a deal this is, I'm flashing up a couple of graphs for you guys, so don't let your head hurt. I'm going to try and explain this as easy as possible. You're going to see 2 sets of lines. The colors correspond to the rarity of the SMG, and the solid lines are the old pre-patch, and the dashed lines are the current ones after this nerf. So you can see this current chart that you're looking at, guys, is the damage versus range. Now when it comes to range, I think that these numbers are in centimeters. I don't entirely know, because it's obviously not meters. That would just be ridiculous. And if you guys remember from the C4 patches that recently occurred, they said they changed the C4 blast radius from like 400 to 600, which is roughly around, the C4 from my own testing can do a damage radius of about an entire building, wall, for example. So that's roughly around the size of a wall, is about 500 or 600 of these units, based on my own testing. Again, that a wall is about 5 meters in height, and length. So we can assume, I'm going to say that these are centimeters. So basically 1,000 is 10 meters, 2,000 is 20 meters, and 3,000 is 30 meters. So if we assume that, then you can still see that 20 meters is where they're going to start dropping off now, whereas they used to drop off at around 24 meters. And the drop off hits, it's actually at a lower damage to begin with, right? So just look at these graphs, guys. Like, especially look at once you get to that 4,000 range or the 40 meter range, you have a huge difference in actual damage that you're doing, which is major. The biggest problem with these SMGs were they were absolute lasers at range. People didn't even stand a chance. Based on the accuracy bonus getting nerfed and this damage output getting nerfed, we shouldn't see any of this lasering going on anymore. And just for further comparison, guys, I'm going to show you the damage per second. Now that we take into account the difference in fire rate, this is just for the legendary, the gold SMG, you know, the gold P90. I can show you the damage per second before and after. This is, again, the solid line is before the patch, and the dashed line is after the patch. Huge, massive damage effects to this gun. Is going all the way down to 80 damage per second from what it was almost 200. So look at that 40 meter mark, guys. It was doing almost 200 damage per second. Now it's doing 80. That's huge. That's well over a 50% drop off. Added to that, the bonus has been affected, so you're just not going to hit shots. Effectively, this thing has been completely removed from the long-range game. This was a huge problem. People were not using ARs. They were only using SMGs. Now, hopefully, ARs can come back into the game. You can pick up your scars again, but that's what it comes down to, guys. I know it's probably a little more math than you're hoping to look into, but you can't really appreciate this effect, this patch, without really looking into the numbers, unfortunately. Here it is for you guys. You can see exactly what's going on. So if you have any questions, I'll be in the comment section responding to all of them. Make sure you let me know in the comment section below what your thoughts are, what your questions are. It's going to be really important, guys. But basically, here's a summary. TLDR, you can no longer, well, you still can. SMGs will not have the same effect and dominance that they have in the mid to long range that they did in the last couple weeks. They will only be as good as they used to be in the close range, and even then they won't be as good. So hopefully they're on more par with the shotguns. So hopefully this balance really brings back shotgun gameplay as well as AR gameplay. Hopefully if it does, then it will have accomplished its goal, and we can finally have a gameplay that's, you know, more well-rounded. We got all these guns, we should be using them. Again, like I said, if you have questions, do not hesitate. Enter them into the comment section down below. I'll be sure to answer them. And if you did enjoy this video, guys, make sure you hit that like button. You know, I'm going to say this. We get this patch out. People like to put out updates right away. They want to be the first ones to release. I can pretty much assure you nobody's going to have this level of detail as fast as we did. So make sure you share this video as well. Let everybody know where they can come to get the most recent and best information on Fortnite Battle Royale. Again, like I said, guys, make sure you hit that like button. If you are new here, make sure you subscribe. And if you're not following us on social media, those links are going to be down in the description below. And as always, guys, my name is Argon, and may you never die to a bush. Peace.